Sunrise starts now.
New on Sunrise, snowy and icy conditions here in central Illinois, making for a slick morning commute. Other parts of the country gearing up for some fast-moving storms.
President Trump's Supreme Court nominee calling the president's attack on independent judges demoralizing. How the White House is reacting to Judge Gorsuch's fired-up comments.
And an American political dynasty looking to extend their reach into Illinois. Which member of the Kennedy family is throwing his hat in the ring for the race for Illinois governor? 5 o'clock, good morning and welcome to News Channel 20 Sunrise. I'm Adam Ryan.
And I'm Jen Sullivan. We're waking up to very cold temperatures this morning. Let's check in with Storm Team 20's Joe Crane. Joe, those colder temperatures continue to kick off our Thursday.
Yes, indeed. A frigid Thursday, as I'm wanting to call it here this morning. Certainly a far cry from the 60-degree weather we saw just a couple 3 days ago. Satellite radar combo, live Doppler radar this morning, showing that the clouds are clearing out during the overnight hours, doing a couple of things, allowing you to see that big bright moon up in the sky, but also allowing what was left of any warmth yesterday to escape to the upper levels of the atmosphere. Temperatures have been plunging overnight. We're down into the mid to upper teens. A majority of us around 14 to 15 degrees across mid-Illinois this morning. And with northwest winds coming in to about 10 to 15, close to 20 miles per hour, it's putting an extra bite in the air. Wind chills, the feels-like temperatures down into the single digits, down near zero for a few locations, as cold as 1 below in Champaign. Temperatures on the chilly side this morning, only in the teens to around 20 degrees by 9 o'clock with those single-digit wind chills. We'll see nearly wall-to-wall sunshine this afternoon, but unseasonably cold temperatures only making it into the 20s. But a fast warm-up as we head into the weekend, which includes some precipitation chances. But with the warmer temperatures, it's all rain. We'll track it for you in the 7-day outlook about 10 minutes away. Adam, Jen?
Thank you, Joe. Well, patches of snow and ice making for dangerous driving conditions overnight. Emergency crews responding to dozens of crashes.
We're taking a live look at the IDOT road conditions map right now. Yellow meaning patches of snow and ice. Looks like the highways so far are pretty good unless you're going to head east to Decatur. News Channel 20 Sunrise reporter Evan Peterson live right now with how IDOT says you can be safe on the roads.
Jen, Adam, good morning. I'm downtown Springfield right now, where you can see the roads are a lot like this right now. They're clear for the most part, but off to the sides where I'm standing, a lot of ice like this. And that was not the case, though, last night, where the Springfield Police Department saying they responded to roughly 80 accidents across Sangamon County. And IDOT, we spoke with them earlier, they were saying that they had snow plows and salt trucks all throughout the area trying to make sure these roads are safe. It was going on late until night. Now, here's some video of some of those accidents late yesterday evening and afternoon. We got this showing you here, and now IDOT workers, they were telling us that they think people were driving way too fast for these kinds of road conditions. Springfield police say they think the heavy snowfall in such a short amount of time led to this high volume of accidents. Now, even though most of the snow is off the roads now, they still aren't completely safe. IDOT spokesperson tells us that you should be aware of things like black ice out on the streets.
People absolutely should keep an eye on the roads, drive slower than they think they need to be, really take precaution on those roads because that is something that's hard to identify, and just assume that they need to be driving slower for conditions until this weather event passes.
IDOT tells us you should leave early so you can drive slower, leave more distance between you and the car in front of you, and of course wear your seatbelt. Now the state says they are going to have these snow plows and salt trucks on these roads as long as it takes in order to make your commute safe today. Also to the fact that, again, you have to give yourself plenty of time and be safe out on the roads. Live downtown Springfield this morning, I'm Evan Peterson, News Channel 20 Sunrise.
Definitely want to take it slow this morning. Thanks, Evan. A fast-moving winter storm bearing down on the northeast. Some areas expecting up to 18 inches of snow. Public schools in New York and Boston have already been canceled. FlightAware.com reports that upwards of 2,600 flights have been canceled already in preparation of this storm. City and state authorities in the region have issued stern warnings, and preparations are already underway for this winter wallop. The snowstorm also hitting Massachusetts, where icy roadways were already causing road closures and wrecks on Wednesday.
Now to Illinois state politics this morning. The Illinois Senate tried to move forward with its grand compromise yesterday, but things did not go as planned. They began with some of the less controversial measures like local government consolidation, procurement reform, and borrowing to pay off bills. Those all passed with largely Democratic majority votes. Senate President John Cullerton then called the pension reform plan, but it failed 18 to 29. Republicans say since all of the bills are a package, they want to vote on them together when the deal is finalized. But Democrats say it's time to start moving forward on the deal where there is already agreement to prove it's more than just talk.
I think it didn't pass today. I'm still optimistic it will pass. The glitch today was more about timing than anything else. I think substantively we're still working to pull this package together. So there's always hiccups when you go through a complicated process like that, and that's why I view this.
This bipartisan package could move forward. The Republicans couldn't put a single vote on a single bill today, despite promises from their leader. Leader Rodonio went as far to get up on the Senate floor and describe a couple of the bills as easy votes. Despite that description, there wasn't one single Republican that was willing to vote against Governor Rauner today.
Senate leaders will continue negotiating the deal. They say education funding reform and workers' compensation reform still need more work before the bills will be ready for a vote. And stay with News Channel 20 for continuing coverage of the state of Illinois. You can find updates both on air and on our website, newschannel20.com, as well as on social media.
5:06 the time. Dozens of lawmakers and public policy leaders gathered at the State House Wednesday to further an agenda they say puts women's rights at the forefront. It's an effort organizers at the ACLU say is in spirit with the January women's marches throughout Illinois and the country. The agenda they focused on has three main pillars: women's health care, economic security, and justice. They're also calling for a strengthening of the Equal Pay Act and paid sick time and medical leave.
Those are very important to make sure that women can take care of themselves and their families. We are concerned about discrimination, and therefore there is legislation that will be introduced around updating our Pay Equity Act to make it stronger.
More than 24 organizations partnered with 17 legislators to introduce the Women Moving Forward agenda.
5:07 the time. We now turn our attention to Washington. Alabama Senator Jeff Sessions confirmed Wednesday as U.S. Attorney General. This after weeks of debate in the Senate. The vote of 52 to 47 fell largely along party lines, with Democratic Senator Joe Manchin of Alabama, Sessions State, voting in favor of Sessions. Jeff Sessions was one of President Trump's earliest supporters during the election. And Donald Trump's nominee for the Supreme Court, Neil Gorsuch, speaking out against the president's tweets on the judicial system. President Trump calling a federal judge in Seattle a, quote, so-called judge after that judge issued a stay on the travel ban. In a meeting with a Democratic senator, Gorsuch said the tweets were, quote, demoralizing and disheartening. Gorsuch is likely to face questions about the president's tweets in upcoming Senate hearings.
Illinois Attorney General Lisa Madigan is joining 16 other state attorney generals in a federal lawsuit in an effort to block President Trump's recent travel ban. In a statement, Madigan says, in part, as the chief legal officer for one of the most diverse states in the nation, I am committed to protecting all of the residents of Illinois and our educational institutions and employers from the harm caused by this executive action. In other political news this morning, President Donald Trump's former campaign manager headlining a Republican celebration in the capital city. Corey Lewandowski served as the keynote speaker at the Sangamon County Republicans' 113th annual Lincoln Day dinner. But Lewandowski also drew protesters to the convention center before the event started. Many Republicans at the dinner said that having Lewandowski as the event's keynote speaker was a privilege. Corey Lewandowski started a lobbying and political consulting firm after being let go from President Donald Trump's campaign. We spoke with him before the dinner, and he said not working for the Trump administration is an advantage and that he wants to push the president's agenda forward from the outside. Lewandowski said Trump is a president who is fulfilling his promises early on in his presidency.
What we've seen in the first 20 days of this administration is he has put forward executive orders and executive memorandums to rebuild our military, to build a wall on the southern border, to do all the things that he talked about on the campaign trail.
Governor Bruce Rauner, Congressman Rodney Davis, and other top party leaders were at the event. Sangamon County GOP Chair Rosemary Long said the party was upbeat and optimistic.
5:09 the time. Not everyone was happy with Lewandowski's visit. However, a group gathered outside the convention center to silently protest the former campaign manager. The march was organized by the group Action for a Better Tomorrow. Organizers opposed Lewandowski's visit because they say they don't want hate in Abraham Lincoln's hometown.
We think that Abe Lincoln is probably rolling in his tomb a few blocks away, knowing that this person who promotes nothing but hate was invited to be a keynote speaker at an event in Abe Lincoln's hometown.
Action for a Better Tomorrow will also have a march this Saturday at the Capitol to support Planned Parenthood.
Happening on Sunrise, the impact of bullying.
How classroom taunting may be affecting your students' grades.
Plus, watch for trains, the city of Lincoln's new efforts to promote railroad safety and stop fatalities in their tracks.
Frigid temperatures, even colder wind chills for your morning commute. Temperatures stay cold today, but a much welcome warm-up kicks in sooner than later. How warm it gets for the weekend and if any rain showers are likely as well. All in your Storm Team forecast in a moment. Our time at 5:10.